You are listening to A Path to New You, a podcast about mental health and veterans issues. I am your host, Timothy Zarumsky. I am a therapist. I do mental health, drug and alcohol therapy, located in Madison, Wisconsin. I run a private practice called New Beginnings Counseling, LLC, in Madison, Wisconsin. I am a veteran, and I served in the United States Navy from 2001 to 2009. You can find this podcast currently on Spotify, but soon it will be available on other platforms. I think there's a few things I have to do in order to do that, but I plan on doing that very soon so more people will be able to listen to this. Like, apparently, not everybody has Spotify. I found that out the last few weeks. Uh, I have a Facebook page called A Path to New You, where I post information on self care and other veteran and mental health information. You can find it on Facebook. It's called The Path to New You. Please like and follow that page. I would really appreciate it. This podcast is sponsored by New Beginnings Counseling, LLC, a veteran and owned and private pay private practice located in Madison, Wisconsin. We are currently seeing patients via Zoom. They do not have a wait list. I know there's a lot of therapists out there who have a wait list. I do not have a wait list. They currently are private pay. Um, and if you can't afford what we are charging, we will definitely work with you. We specialize in anger management, PTSD, depression, anxiety, and addiction. You can call the number 608 571 3896, or you can text that number 608 571 3896 for more information. All right, so I haven't done a podcast in over a month. Looks like the last time I did one was on the 4th of July. I've been extremely busy with a lot of stuff going on. So, and I try to do a podcast, an episode once a week. Like I said, it's been since July 4th. So it's been over a month. So I'm hoping from now on I can do one episode a week, if not maybe two or three a month. Anyway, like I said before, this podcast is about mental health and veterans issues. I I actually want to have guests on this show. If you know anyone who's in the mental health field, or a veteran, or an organization, veteran organization, who'd like to be on my podcast and talk about what they do, or someone who's in the field who specializes in a certain area, please let them know about this podcast and have them contact me either through messaging on the Path to New You Facebook page or with that number 608 571 3896. They can contact me, text me, or call me there and let me know they'd be interested in being on this podcast. I have done this podcast now for probably about 6 months. Yeah, it's been about 6 months, maybe. Like I said, I try to do one a week, one episode a week, but lately it's been like a month, one a month, or one every couple of weeks due to being busy, and it's also nice outside too. So I try to be outside as much as I can. With work and all that stuff that's going on, I've been extremely busy. But so like I said, I've been using Zoom for my guests on this show. This used to be a radio show back in the day. Um, every Friday, I'd go to the Sun Prairie Community Radio Station and do a Patch New You as a live radio show, and I'd have guests come in. However, since I'm doing a podcast, I can use Zoom or I can go to them. So if you know someone, let them know, have them contact me, and I'd love to have them on my podcast. Anyway, today, in this episode, I would like to talk about managing anxiety and stress. Lately, I know I myself have been really stressed out, pretty anxious as well too. So I want to talk about it. There are different tips and strategies to manage this so that way it doesn't overwhelm you. Like I said, everybody deals with stress and anxiety. And it's like I said, at some point, anxiety and stress will affect you. It may not right now, but it may down the road. Maybe it does a little bit and not a whole lot. So you're like, you know how to cope with it and all that. But eventually, down the road, you just might be overwhelmed with it. It's happened to me and it's happened to all my other friends. And so today I want to talk about how to manage. There's tips and strategies on how to manage it so it doesn't get to that point. And if it does, you can always contact a therapist like myself. All right. So, what are some of the coping strategies? For one, you can take a what's called a timeout. You can practice yoga, listen to music, meditate, get a massage, learn relaxation techniques. Just stepping back from the problem also will help clear your head. Just stepping back, taking a few deep breaths, and like, you know what? It's a lot of stuff going on. Let me just take a step back, get away from that moment. Eat a well balanced meal. Um, Eat healthy, eat your vegetables, drink enough water, hydrate, limit your alcohol and caffeine. Surprisingly, alcohol and caffeine can aggravate your anxiety and trigger panic attacks, especially the caffeine. So if you're really stressed out or just really anxious, stay away from the alcohol or caffeine. Get enough sleep. I know myself, I average probably about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I know they want you to have about 8. They say 6 to 7 is decent, but they want you to have 8. Especially when your body is still stressed out, your body needs some sleep and rest. Exercise daily. That definitely helps with your anxiety and stress. I know it does with mine. I work out probably about 5, 6 days a week. And they say about 30 minutes of exercise a day helps. Exercise can mean going out for a walk on a nice day, just going to the gym. If you have a gym membership, go there, do some weightlifting. I got a Peloton, so I use the tread and the bike, and there's a lot of strength stuff on their app I use. Take deep breaths. Inhale and exhale slowly. I'll talk more about that later on. Count to 10 slowly. That's one of the strategies. Repeat and count to 20 if necessary. Just do your best. Don't aim for perfection. No one's perfect. If you aim perfection, that's going to even get more anxiety and more stressful. If you're like, I need to do this right. No one's always right. No one's right. So aim, do your best. Accept that accept that you cannot control everything. Put your stress in perspective. Is it really as bad as you think? You know, you could be overthinking that too, and then that even creates more stress. Welcome humor. You know, being funny just takes away that stress and anxiety as well. Um, Go to the comedy show or just hang out with friends. You know, a lot of your friends, some of my friends are funny. You know, they crack jokes every now and then. Maintain a positive attitude. Make an effort to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Get involved, such as volunteering, finding another way to be active in your community, which creates a support network, gives you a break from everyday stress. I've been doing that recently. Uh, I'm working from home right now too, with my practice and seeing people virtually. And I just step back and get out of the house for a bit. I go volunteer, or I just go out and Just go to the park or something. That definitely helps too. Learn what triggers your anxiety. Could be work, family, school, something else. Let's just learn what triggers it. Talk to someone, friends, family, a therapist. Talking to someone definitely helps. Those are just some of the few things. I mean, some of the coping strategies. There's other ones too. There's so many more. These are just a couple of them I found. Self care. I call it self care is another one. Taking time to do something that you enjoy doing. That could be sleeping in on the weekends, start a hobby, exercise, like I mentioned earlier, 30 minutes a day. Doesn't really have to be 30 minutes a day, just getting outside, doing some walking or whatever, just being active. Go to the movie, rent a movie. I know there's so many different apps out there now, like Prime, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. If you have any of those, or there's a few other ones I have not mentioned, go and watch a movie in one of those apps. Netflix, I know, has got a lot of stuff coming up. Oh yeah, HBO Max too. It's called Max. There's a lot more stuff on there too. You can find that's interesting you. Um, Taking a mental health day from work. I know a lot of employers now are um doing that where they're allowing their employees to take a mental health day. So, what exactly is a mental health day, you ask? Well, mental health day is taking a day off from work. Mental health day is a day where you're just away from work. You either sleep in because you're not going to work. Of course, you got to let them know ahead of time, hey, I want to take a mental health day. And on that day, you just do something you want to do. Well, there's just lounge around, watch TV, watch a movie, hanging out with people, just going outside of the park or going wherever. That's what a mental health that's what a mental health day is. All right. So when we come back, I want to talk about some strategies, and let me talk about like strategies on how to cope and manage stress. Again, you are listening to A Path to New You, a podcast about mental health and veterans issues, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You are listening to A Path to New You, a podcast about mental health and veterans issues. Today we are talking about tips and strategies on how to manage anxiety and stress. Earlier, on the first part of this podcast, we talked about different strategies, coping strategies, such as eating healthy, make sure you're drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, taking like a time out, doing like yoga, um, listening to music, meditating, getting a massage, stepping back from your situation, um, limiting your alcohol and caffeine, since those can actually um, make things worse if you're stressed out or anxious. The caffeine or alcohol will make it worse. We don't want that to happen, right? Exercise daily, like 30 minutes, just going outside, going for a walk. If you're in a gym, you have a gym membership, go to the gym. Like I mentioned, I work out probably about 5, 6 days a week. Even on my days where it's called a recovery day, I do like yoga and whatnot there. Um, like I mentioned, also doing your best. Do not aim for perfection. I know no one's perfect, and yeah, so trying to be perfect will make things even more stressed out. Except that you cannot control everything. Um, definitely. Humor, being funny, hanging out with friends, or going to a comedy show or something like that. Volunteering, like I said, is another one. Just getting out in the community and volunteer. You'd be surprised like what that can do to help with your stress and anxiety. Meet new people. That's when you go out there, you might meet new people, and yeah. So that's what we talked about at the beginning part. There was a lot more we talked about, but that was just the gist of it. The second half, I want to talk about um techniques to help with your stress and anxiety. You may have heard some of these, maybe you haven't. This is just a little gist of it. If you want to know more about it, or if you feel like you need more practice on it or something, or if you need to talk to a therapist, you can always call me, like mentioned earlier, New Beginnings Counseling, number 608-571-3896. And we'll talk more about that if you want to call me or text me that number. Anyway, here are some of the techniques that I found that I've actually used myself, and I've also helped my clients with this too. So there's what's called a 478 breathing technique. So what you do there, you breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe in, and then you count to four. You hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale slowly for 8 seconds. So it's 4 seconds when you breathe in, 7 seconds you hold, 8 seconds you exhale slowly. You don't go. You don't want to exhale fast because I don't do anything. You would do it slowly so your heart rate goes down. And then you can repeat that a couple times until you feel calmer. That might help for some. I know for some of my clients it helps. Also, there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 coping technique. I have used this on myself and with my clients. This is when you're usually overwhelmed with anxiety. This definitely helps. So, what does that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 entail? This is what it entails. The number five, look around the room, then name five things you see around you. These can be objects, spots on the wall, or a bird flying outside. You could be looking outside and seeing a bird or something. And the key is to count down those five things. The four is next, name four things you can touch. This can be um, the ground beneath you, your feet, the chair you're sitting on, the hair, or anything like that. The four things you can touch. For me, be like the laptop, the table, paper, notepad, the phone, the mic, and a pen. That's what I've been. That's what I'm holding on, or that's what I'm touching right now. The three, listen quietly, then acknowledge three things you can hear. This can be if your window's open. It could be like a bird outside chirping. Could be indoors too. Like right now, I don't know if you hear it, but I have a fan going on 'cause it's kind of warm in my room. Um, and stuff outside too. Like, but it's kind of windy out right now, so you can actually you can listen to the wind. I really can't hear it because I have a headset on for this podcast, of course. The two, note two things you can smell. Maybe that's like a perfume, like cologne if you're wearing cologne. Maybe it's maybe you have a neighbor who's grilling outside. You can smell the grill, the smoke from the food they're cooking, or something outside. And then the one, notice something you can taste inside your mouth. Possibly, if you're drinking water or soda or something. I have flavored water I'm drinking, so I can taste it. So that would be the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 coping technique. Another one is if you are at home and you're really anxious and just so stressed out, take a cold shower. Just go take a cold shower. That could help. I know it might be cold. Your body might like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because you go in there, all of a sudden you're like cold, and that definitely helps too. Cold showers. About that actually helps with recovery too for someone who's like weightlifting or doing a lot of like high intensity workouts or something like that. That definitely helps too. Like plunging in a cold water or just taking a cold shower. Apparently, that helps with your muscles too. Yeah, there's so many other techniques too. I mean, you call me, I got so many different resources we could use. I did mention self care earlier on. Um, so I found this 12 step to self care. If it feels wrong, don't do it. I go with my gut feeling or anything like that. Say exactly what you mean. Don't be a people pleaser. I guess, like I say, like, don't always say yes. Um, be a no. Be a no man too. Like, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. And if they ask why, just like, I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of them, um, a lot of people realize that, and they'll say, okay, I get it. This is the 12 steps to self care for when you're stressed out and and this will help with your anxiety and stress too. Because for me, I used like back in the day, years ago, I was always, yes, I'll do this, yes, I'll do that, yes, I'll do this. And then I got to the point where you're so stressed out because you're just doing everything. So this kind of helps with that. Um, One of the things is never speak bad about yourself. I did mention about staying positive. Never talk negative about yourself because that just brings you down too. Don't be afraid to say no. I've had to learn that. Um, and it took a while too. And then I guess for me, I used to be a yes man, call it yes man. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that. And then when I started saying no, like at my former employer work, what I did, they're like confused because they're like, you used to say that yes all the time. So I was expecting you to say yes. I'm like, well, not this time. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Be kind to yourself. There's another one. Be kind to yourself. Let go of what you cannot control. Again, a lot of this stuff takes practice. Stay away from drama and negativity. There's a lot of negativity going on right now, especially in the media and whatnot. Stay away from that stuff. And stay away from the drama too. Even if you're a really good friend, you have friends that you hang out with and they're all like drama and they just all bring up stuff. You know what? Just take a step back. Just get away from there. Also love. Just love yourself and love others. That definitely helps too. Like I mentioned there's so many different things, resources that I have. I'm just coming up with a few of them here and there that I'm finding like on the phone. You can always Google stuff. Um, I do have a 50 ways to take a break. So if you need to take a break and get away from everything. A few of them on here I mentioned earlier, like meditate, walk outside, make some music, listen to music, um, hang out with your pets, your dog or cats. If they're around and they like to snuggle with you, snuggle with them. Call a friend. Go outside at night if the stars are out. If you live in the country, just lay down and watch the stars. Um, Take a bath. Light a candle, and like I said, there's so many different ways. This is just I do have a 50 ways to take a break. I do give a lot of this to some of my clients who are like, "What do you mean by all that? What can I do to like get away from everything?" And then I'll send them this via like Google, like through their email, and they're like, "Oh wow!" And then they print it off and hang it up on they put on their fridge, and in a couple of weeks I'll meet with them, and after a couple of weeks, they're like, you know what, that's definitely helps. Um, yeah, there's like I said, there's a lot of resources out there, and I do have a lot of them too. Again, today's episode was on tips and strategies on how to manage anxiety and stress. There's a lot of stress going on. There's a lot of anxiety going on. A lot of stuff going on. There's some of the coping strategies and techniques that I have learned myself, and I've actually taught my clients as well too. Like I mentioned, everything takes practice, um, and not and there's other ways to cope with stress. Not everybody copes the same way. Um, yeah, again, if you are looking for help, if you are looking for a therapist, say for example, you're on a wait list, 6-month wait list, and I know there's a lot of therapists out there who actually have like a 6-month wait list before they can see you. I do not have a wait list. I have openings available. Like I said, I am currently private pay. I'm extremely affordable, and I see people via Zoom right now since I'm not working at the office at the moment. If you're interested, you can call or text. My number is 608-571-3896. Again, you can call that number or you can text that number. Again, that number is 608-571-3896. If you are outside of the state of Wisconsin, I can still see you as long as you're. Now, if you're extremely severely mentally ill, I cannot see you. You might want to see someone who's in your state or in your area. But if you're just looking for someone to help with like anger management or someone who just you need to talk to and find resources and whatnot, let me know. Give me a call, shoot me a text. Um, yeah, if you have any other questions, you can call that number or text that number as well. Or please, I do have a Facebook page called The Path to New You. It's on Facebook page. It's on Facebook. It's a Facebook page, A Path to New You. Please like it and follow. And if you have questions, you can also message me via there. And also, I do have a Facebook page for my counseling practice as well, New Beginnings Counseling LLC. So please like and follow that as well. I do post a lot of self care tips and all that good stuff on there. If you need to reach me for anything, you can also message me via Facebook through the um, Path to New or New Beginnings Counseling, and I will get back to you as soon as I can on that. Or you can text me or call me on that number I just said, 560-8 571-3896. Again, I'm hoping to do more episodes more often. Like I said, the last time I did an episode was July 4th. It's been over a month. But now that things have slowed down a little bit, I think I got more time to do um, an episode. I know for me, it takes time to like get things sorted out and find information and whatnot to talk about. So I'm hoping to um do them more often. Anyway, this is a Path to New You, a podcast about mental health and veterans issues. Again, if you have or know someone who's either a veteran, works at a veteran organization, I know someone who works in the mental health field who specializes in a certain something, could be medicine, could be hoarding, could be anything. Just let them know. Have them contact me via my Facebook page, A Path to New You, or you can have them call or send me a message on my number I just gave out. And I'd like to like talk to them and definitely would like to have more guests on this show. I do a lot of talking on this show, and I like other people to be on here too. And I want to learn a lot more about the mental health field. Again, I use Zoom for my podcast. So when I do have a guest on the show, I just send them the link, and then we can do it via the Zoom. Or if they're in the area, Madison area, I could go to them if needed. Anyway, you are listening to A Patch Near You. I hope everyone has a good rest of the day, and take care. Until next time.